Hello everyone, it's Kari, and today I have a couple of really fun card sets to share with you, and these are beachy card sets. Every once in a while a stamp set comes along that just inspires me and makes it so easy to create card sets just like this. This is the new Fresh from Port set, and this one here is the True North set from Maker Forte. I've got a few cards to share and some other ideas, so stay tuned to the end because I'll be showing you some other card ideas with this set. But right now I'm going to be using this large seashell stamp, and it's really cool. I'm going to prime my stamp with this Prime Time stamp cleaner, and it preps your stamps so that it stamps and inks really well. All you have to do is spray it on and leave it for about 60 seconds, I would say. Sometimes I get a little impatient and then I clean it off with my microfiber cloth, and then it stamps so nicely. The ink doesn't bead up like it does sometimes on newer stamps. And look at this pretty impression. So I'm stamping it quite a few times here with some of the flat white ink from Maker Forte. And I'm using Nina Desert Storm cardstock as my card panel. Now I'm going to go in with some Lady Liberty Color Hive ink and stamp that again. You're going to get a different look. And what I love is that when you use a different color of cardstock for your panel background, you even get a different look. So this looked to me kind of beachy, and so that's why I wanted to use that today. Now I'm going in with Sugar Plum. This is one of my favorite purples of all time for ink, and I'm going to stamp that, and look how pretty that looks on that Desert Storm paper. I'm going to stamp that a couple of times to get nice dark impression, and then I will show you all the panels that we've created. Look at this, so pretty. I love that. This seashell is really inspiring, I think, and that's why I wanted to create a card set. So I'm going to pick some sentiments here from these sets. This one says every seashell has its story, and then so I'll use that right here on this one. Then I like the one that says let's go to the sea, so I'm going to use that one. And then one of my favorite is from this stamp set that says I need vitamin C, and that's from the Mermaid Rising stamp set, also a new one just released, and look how beautiful that one is. So I'm going to stamp all of these out. It makes it so fast and easy when you're doing the same kind of layout with the backgrounds, just different sentiments. So I'm going to stamp all these down. I have my sticky mat in there. I love having this for just placing them really simply and then stamping things down. There's the Let's Go to the Sea. Now we've got this compass here that's from that Fresh from Port stamp. I'm going to use this with some embossing powder. So because I'm doing that, I'm going to use my Rabbit Hole Designs embossing powder tool. Then I will go ahead and stamp this with some sticky ink and then pour some embossing powder over the top. For this sand colored one, I'm going to use some embossing powder that has some gold in it and a little bit of glitter. Never hurt anyone. I love this look. This is the Solar Flare embossing powder, and it's beautiful. I believe that's the name of it. I'll have it linked so you can check it out if you want, but it's one of my favorite embossing powders because it's got that glitter. It's really, really pretty, but it's not too glittery. So then for this one, I'm going to use the same embossing tool here and stamp that with some sticky ink. And for this one and for this next one, I'm going to use the same embossing powder, and it is a white embossing powder with a little bit of silvery glitter to it. Not too much, it's mostly white, but I love that it has that little bit of glitter to it. And so it's a really fun one as well. So I'll go ahead and put that on, and then I'll heat them up on both of those panels. And look how it heats up. It looks white, but hopefully you'll be able to see a little of that glittery goodness when I hold them closer to the camera. So I'll just go ahead and heat set all of these, and they'll be ready to put on the cards. Just that little bit of glitter is so perfect. So there we go. So I've cut them down just a little bit so there's a little white showing around each of the edges, and I'll go ahead and add those to my card bases. These are really nice and thick 110-pound card bases. And that makes for a really great card set, really perfect to put and give to anyone. I tied this up with raffia and added a little starfish embellishment to this card set, of course with some envelopes, and I think someone is going to really love this set. In fact, I'm pretty sure my mom's going to love this one. For this next one, this stamp set is also so beautiful and easy to send as card sets. So I wanted to show you what I did with this one. This one is called Have a Fin-tastic Day. And I'm also going to be using these stencils. One of them is the Spotlight stencil. It's probably my most used stencil in the craft room. I love it. You can use it for a lot of things, for masking and for stenciling a circle. So this works with a lot of my stamp sets, and it will work with this one as well. For this card, I was going more for nautical than beachy because this is going to say seize the day. It's got a little sailboat on there, an anchor, and those types of things. So I thought it would be so awesome stamped in red. I'm going to be using the new Independence Red, which is a Color Hive ink, and it's beautiful. It's a really great red, perfect for Christmas projects and also perfect for this. And I'm also going to use Telephone Box to make it a little bit darker around the edges. So I just inked up that around the edges, just a little bit here and there, make that sailboat a little darker around the edges and lighter on the inside. That gives you a two-tone kind of dual look and no coloring involved. For the sentiment on the inside, I'm just using some Eclipse black ink, and that's going to look really beautiful with the red. And then I'll do the lines in blue. So that's where our nautical theme is coming in. I'm going to attach that center mask, the circle mask, with a little bit of repositionable adhesive, and then I'll go ahead and place that stencil right over the sticky mat. Now, it's not holding it too well because these are smaller lines, so you can see I'm kind of holding it with my hand. Also, it worked out okay in the end, but I did struggle just a little bit here, right there. But look how it turned out. It did turn out great. Maybe a magnet would have been better for this. Next time I should add my magnets. So there you go. You can do that as well. And I just inked that on. This is Vegas Strip ink, a beautiful blue ink. There we go. Look at that. To peel that off, I just fold back that sticky mat and the panel will peel right off without bending. So that works really great. For the second one, I'm going to go in with some blue raspberry ink, which may be one of my favorites, as well as the Vegas Strip. And I'm going to stamp that on, and we're going to do a little bit of no-line coloring for this one. I did stamp the inside sentiment, "The Beach is Calling," in Eclipse black ink as well. I'll just clean that off and prepare for the next step. For this one, I wanted a little bit different color scheme. Be sure you remember to clean off your stencil as well, especially if you're going in with a lighter ink, which is what my plan was for this one. So I cleaned that off, added that back to the sticky mat, again forgetting my magnets, but that would have looked or worked really great for this. And then I added that mask right on the top again, so I was sure not to get some ink over our image. I'm using some of the flat white ink for this. And this really inks on beautiful. It is like a sand color. I think it's so pretty with this image. I also took off the ring and I inked on a little bit lightly in between under that ring, so you can see the lines fade off into the image. Now I'm using just a few shades of blue here. Unfortunately, I cut off the marker tops, so I don't have the colors, but I'm sure they were BGs or light B00s. And I'm just coloring up that dolphin really simply, and then I'm going to also color up those waves with the same 3 blue colors. So you can see that's going to really bring some life to that dolphin. I'll add a little more shadows later as soon as that dries. But in the meantime, I'm going to color up some of these lines. And I love that these waves have lines because that makes it so easy to color them in different shades of blue. So I'm just coloring all the top ones with that light color of blue, and then I'll go in with the medium and the dark on the other lines. And here I'm adding just a little more detail with the darkest shade, kind of coloring in his eye and his little mouth, adding some additional shadows where it would be the darkest, and there is our next panel. See how easy that was? Even the coloring was simple. For this one, I'm going to stamp the outside with the flat white, and then I'll stamp the inside Fin-tastic with some Vegas strip. And then I took the Have a Day to stamp around the Fin-tastic, and I'm going to stamp that in pink. And I know you're like, pink? Where did the pink come in? But I'm going to make the lines on this one also a pink shade. And I think that's a really fun, unexpected color scheme. But see how I did that? I masked it off with the circle mask. Then I'm going to remove that and add a little more of the lines so we get kind of a lighter lined effect closer to the image. So that's what I'm trying to show you there. I'll hold this up so you can see it a little bit better after I peel that off. And I don't know if you can tell, but there are some additional lines inside that masked spot. They're just a lot lighter. Now I'm going to color these shells up with some lighter colors of Copics, just making this more of a dreamy color scheme here. And this again was pretty easy to do. I just kind of followed the lines and the shadows for the inspiration. This one's kind of fun. It's got that sailboat there, an anchor, some shells, starfish, and a fish. Have a fantastic day. So there are our panels, and I'm going to go ahead and add those to our card bases as well. This time using that Nina Desert Storm on the card bases. That's to bring in more of that beachy sand look. And I think it's a really fun combination for this set of cards. So there you can see all the cards. I put these together very, very quickly. I love this for card making sets. And here's a closer look at them. Watch this though. I wanted to show you another card I made with that Fresh from Port and True North stamp set. The octopus that comes in the True North set is so pretty that I could not resist stamping a whole background with different shades of inks for the octopus. So here it is right here. And then I used that beautiful sentiment for that one. So pretty. And here is our card all wrapped up. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. It really does help out with YouTube. I hope you enjoy making card sets as well, and that this gave you a little inspiration. I'll be back soon with more card making inspiration, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.